Elen Silla Lumen Omentiovo. With Valentine's Day just a week away, I thought now would be a good time to look at one of Tolkien's first tales, the Tale of Tinuviel, and see how it is different from the version found in the pages of the Silmarillion. This tale begins in Artanor, the realm of Tinwelint. One summer's day, his children, Tinuviel and Daeron, roamed far from the halls, and there they played music and danced till nightfall. There, Beren, an elf from the north, stumbled into the woods, and he caught sight of Tinuviel, and fell in love, for she was more beautiful than any elf maiden. Within the moonlight, Daeron saw Beren, and knew he was a stranger. He shouted for Tinuviel to run before disappearing into the woods. Tinuviel would hide, and Beren would search for her, but she had gone, not before seeing in Beren's face a love for Tinuviel. Beren would once more find Tinuviel dancing, and he came to her, and she would not flee, for she was intrigued by him. Together the two danced and conversed, and a great love was formed between them. Tinuviel took Beren to the halls of her father, and there Tinwelint questioned this elf of his purpose, and Beren would be too awed to speak. Tinuviel would answer for him, and Tinwelint would ask Beren what he wanted, to which the elf replied to marry Tinuviel. Tinwelint laughed, and in a jest proclaimed, "Haply I may with right ask somewhat in return. Nothing great shall it be, a token only of thy esteem. Bring me a Silmaril from the crown of Melko, and that day Tinuviel weds thee, and she will." End quote. And Beren, being filled with anger, responded to Tinwelint's jest, "Nay, but 'tis too small a gift to the father of so sweet a bride. I, Beren, a huntsman of the Noldoli, will fulfill thy small desire." End quote. Thus did Beren leave, to Tinuviel's sadness, and he ventured far into the north, braving many perils and avoiding many orcs. At last Beren was captured, and he was brought before the throne of Melko. There Beren would have been slain, had quick thinking not convinced Melko to keep him alive as a servant. Melko sent Beren to his lieutenant, Tevildo, the prince of cats. Upon the scent of Beren was that of dog, and Tevildo treated Beren cruelly as a result. Tinuviel was greatly aggrieved by Beren's departure, and she danced no more. She would plead to her father to aid Beren, but Tinwelint would command Tinuviel to forget her love of Beren, to which she would refuse. Thus, fearing rash action, Tinwelint would lock Tinuviel in the tree Hiralorn. Her prison this would be until by magic she grew long her hair, and made her escape by weaving the strands into rope. Her flight from Artanor caused confusion in the realm, with Tinwelint sending many armed elves to search for Tinuviel, and Queen Gwendolen would grieve, and Daeron would vanish desperately searching for his sister. Tinuviel would make her way north, attempting to find Beren. She would be found by Huan the Hound, a friend of Beren's, and together the two planned a rescue for Beren. Tinuviel went to the halls of Tevildo, and told the cat prince that Huan, his enemy, was greatly sick and ripe for killing. Tevildo eagerly followed Tinuviel to Huan's location, where the great dog pounced on the cat, slaying one of his companions before capturing Tevildo. The now captured cat yielded the spell of his domain to Tinuviel, who now cast down the halls and freed the prisoners, including Beren. Beren and Tinuviel would then set forth to accomplish the greatest feat of elf kind. Beren donned the dead cat skin, together with Tinuviel journeyed to Angamandi to steal a Silmaril from Melko's crown. They were stopped at the gate by Carcarus, the great wolf, and Tinuviel danced and cast him to sleep. Upon entering the throne room of Melko, they grew afraid, but Tinuviel would proclaim to be Melko's servant and dance for him when he wishes. And Melko, with evil thoughts on his mind, permitted her dancing. Tinuviel danced as none before, nor none after would, and one by one the fell beings of Melko's halls fell asleep, the last of whom being Melko himself. Tinuviel awoke Beren, who grabbed a knife, and as silently as he could cut the silmaril from the iron crown. But as the jewel was cut, the blade snapped, and the court of Melko began to stir. With terror in their hearts, Beren and Tinuviel fled, but they were stopped once more by Carcarus, and Beren threw himself at the wolf, and would have the hand that grasped the silmaril chewed off by the teeth of Carcarus. In that moment, Carcarus was driven mad by the silmaril inside him, and he fled far away. Beren and Tinuviel would escape, and Melko mobilized many orc parties to hunt them down. But word of their deeds passed far and wide, and soon Huon, with a great pack of dogs, slew many orcs, and would lead Beren and Tinuviel to the woods of Aerankai. There Beren grieved, for he would not return to Tinwelland without the silmaril in his hand. But Tinuviel would not go forward without Beren, for she would not be parted from him. So Beren swallowed his pride, and with Tinuviel and Huon returned to Tinwelland. The king and queen were overjoyed when Tinuviel returned, but Tinwelland was scornful towards Beren, for the king believed him to be the cause of all their woes. Tinuviel rebuked her father for his words, much to the shock of all who heard, and Beren revealed and showed his maimed hand. Tinwelland then asked of all that had occurred, and he was astonished by the tale and the courage of Beren and Tinuviel. Beren, still bounded by honor of his word, would still desire to obtain a silmaril, and Tinwelland would ask him not to journey forth again from the land. But Beren revealed that Carcarus was the wolf that bit his hand, and that wolf was now in Aerankai. Thus, Tinwelland, Beren, Mablon the hunter, and Huon would go forth and hunt the wolf. Together they would discover the wolf not far from their camp, and Carcarus, recognizing Beren, leapt upon him. But Huon tripped the wolf, and the king's spear found the beast's heart. Beren was still gravely injured, and with the silmaril reclaimed, they returned to the halls of Tinwelland. There Beren gave Tinwelland the silmaril, and spoke, "Behold, O king, I give thee the wondrous jewel thou didst desire, and it is but a little thing found by the wayside, for once methinks thou hadst one beyond thought more beautiful, and she is now mine." End quote. With these final words, Beren died. But it was not his end, for by love of Tinuviel he was brought back by Mandos, but both he and Tinuviel had to live mortal lives. And that is where we will leave this tale. It is very fascinating to see the changes that were made to this tale, such as Beren being an elf and Huon surviving the encounter with the wolf. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, feel free to like and subscribe for more content, and please let me know how I can better improve these videos. Thanks, and as the elves say, Namarie.